It took us a long time to get used to living in this van, and we had to make quite a few changes so that it was right for us and full-time living. But today we'll give you the grand tour. This is our van, Big Mac, and it's a Mercedes Sprinter all-wheel drive. It's a Yukon K Peak. We've only had it now for about 8 months. Okay, so the van has also been lifted, and at the rear we've had it strengthened because when Mercedes come out of the factory, they typically sit with their rear end sitting lower than the front end. We took our van to Montpellier 4x4 here in France. We've added a 3-pack spring, leaf spring set, plus some Connie extra heavy duty shocks as well, and the two work together. And what that's done is that's lifted our van so it sits much more squarely, but it's also stiffened the ride, and we really feel that when we're going around corners it doesn't sort of lean as much. The van is just under 7 meters long. There is a 6-meter version of this, and actually they're probably better if you're just doing off-road all the time, but we're living full-time, so we want that extra space. All right, on the rear then, before we left UK, we had a couple of bits of sort of furniture added to the back. These were made by Phoenix Vans in Accrington, and I'll pop a link to them in there. They were absolutely fantastic. And they've made a wheel carrier with a ladder for us there. And also on this side, it's just a custom sort of cargo frame, and we've had a box made for it as well. And then there's all these additional fittings here, and we can add these fixings up here and attach other bits and pieces as and when we need. Obviously, we've got a full-size spare wheel. We don't want to be off-roading with any spray bottles and rum flats or anything like that. So we've gone for a full-size spare wheel. And then this is our Amazon version of a Trasharoo. We've had it from our previous van, and also we've dragged it across to this one here. It is looking a bit tired and faded, but it works very well. In addition, we've also got a little shovel up here, which we've had to use a few times, particularly when we were in Morocco over the winter. Up top, there's a rear camera. There are 360-degree cameras, so there's 2 underneath each wing mirror, and then cameras top and bottom, front and rear as well. And then when we're maneuvering, reversing, we can just switch those on and we get a much clearer picture. Okay, so the cargo box gets used as a bit of a dumping area. We've got a cordless hoover up here, some boots and a bit of charcoal and a compressor and stuff like that. So it's just a bit of an everyday dumping box, but it's waterproof and pretty robust, and it serves a purpose. Okay, into the garage. Doors open fully wide. We've actually got a lot of space in here, but we use a lot of these black boxes here. They sort of stack on top of each other, and we've got 2 different sizes, and that sort of just stops everything jumbling around all over the place, although we do have a few loose bits and pieces, some hiking rucksacks, tool bag, bits and pieces like that. We've even got a paddleboard hidden at the back there somewhere. There's a ladder there for the pop-up roof. We'll show you that in a wee bit. And then we've got an extra table here for when we're sort of cooking outside. And now, one of the problems we had when we were off-roading in Morocco, and that's us being new to this, was we never thought about these things sliding around too much. So we've added some D-rings here and around there, and we just put a strap along to hold those there. We've also added a bar here that just gives us a little bit of a break there as well. So there's 2 ways. That holds the bottom stuff, and the bar will stop anything at the top, the smaller, lighter stuff coming forward. On the insides of the doors, these are IKEA. I can't remember the name of them, but I'll put it on the screen. And they're actually sort of pegboards for like offices and stationary sort of things. We've taken them and mounted them horizontally, and then we just use them to store some extra bits and pieces, and they just sit into the void in the van when we close the doors. The same on this side here, and we've still got a lot of space that we can utilize there. We've only added these in the past few days. Up here we've got a little electric oven, a little countertop oven, and every now and then we just take it in the front, or we'll even plug it in up here and use it at the back of the van. This was the old gas locker, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute, but now we just use it as a bit of a pantry larder for some junk stuff, good old healthy pot noodles, that sort of stuff. And it, you know, sometimes it's full, sometimes it's empty, depending on where we are on our shopping, things like that. And then this here is a cable that connects to our MPPT, and we use that in conjunction with some portable solar panels that boost the actual solar panels on the roof as well. All right, and this netting up here is just a little addition that Diane has done, and it's just a voile net, again from IKEA. Details on the screen of the name. Cost about €6, and one of their poles, which again was about €2, and we've just fitted it up there with a couple of cup hooks, and then the net just tucks under the mattress, but that sort of acts as a bug net for the rear of the van, because these vans, you know, although they're factory made, they come with bug nets on the windows and on the side door and stuff like that, but nothing on the rear door, which is the biggest space, and I never understand that. So we've also got this headboard that we've put in ourselves, and that's just so we can sit up in bed, because when you are in bed without this and you put the cushions up, they lean against these sort of heavy duty paper blinds here, and they can sort of put pressure against them. Again, not the best design, but we've sort of found a work around it. Okay, and then on this side of the van, we've got electric hookup. This is an outlet for the Truma heater exhaust, water fill cap, and then this would have been the cassette for the toilet that was in there, a fixed chemical toilet, but we've had that taken out, and we'll show you more about that from inside. So now we just use that as a little small storage cupboard. I mentioned a second ago about electrics. We took out all the gas. We're not a fan of gas, so we've gone all electric. We've got 300 amp hours of lithium battery in there. We use 2 induction hobs, and we'll show you those when we get inside. We've also got 180 watts of solar on the roof, and they are the mono crystals, so they're a little bit more efficient. And we've got 400 watts of portable solar, so we can just take these panels out, fold them out in the sun, plug in. Now that does 2 things. Firstly, it boosts the solar gain that we're getting from wherever we're parked up, but secondly, it means we can park the van in the shade and run the panels out into the sun and rotate them during the day to sort of maximize how much power and how much charge we're getting back in. Okay, so I mentioned the exhaust for the Truma. It's I'll put the model on the screen. I think it's a Truma DE6, and it's a diesel and electric one, and it'll heat us 10 litres of hot water, and it'll also provide us with heating in the van as well. And that will work either off the diesel if we're not plugged in, or if we're on electric hookup, we can just use that to power the diesel heater. Okay, windows, we've got a load more windows in this van than we had in our previous one, and they're all sort of acrylic flush fit. They're all acrylic flush fit windows. In the roof, we've got 2 skylights. Neither of them have any max air fans, but we have a different way of dealing with that as well. And we'll show you that when we get inside the van. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a left-hand drive. That was one of the main reasons for us picking this. We spend the bulk of our time out of UK, so it makes more sense for us to be left-hand drive. It makes life a lot easier, certainly on the continent. It's a 1.9 litre diesel, it's 9-speed automatic, and as I said, it's got all-wheel drive. Now that is not a pure 4-wheel drive, so there's no low range, there's no diff locks, it's all automatic. Kicks in when the management system thinks it's in trouble.
Okay, my turn now, and I'll take you through the interior of the van. This is the cab area of our van, or as we prefer to call it, the conservatory. The blinds are all closed today because it's quite hot, the sun is shining in, and we're in Provence. In our conservatory, we have 2 front seats which rotate round, so it gives us a good seating area in here. So moving on from our conservatory, this is our living area. As Nige mentioned previously, our van is a Yukon K Peak, which is a factory built van. Now, we converted 2 vans previously, so we had designed vans round us, and to suddenly go into a factory fitted van, we found the space a little bit compromising. But when we went to view it, the things that we wanted to change were relatively easy things for us as well. So that's why we went ahead with the van, because it was the correct base vehicle for us. Now, one of the first things we did, because there's just the 2 of us in the van, is we took out the double seat that was here. It was quite an upright seat, really only suitable for 1 adult or for 2 children. And we just didn't feel it was very comfortable to lounge in. So we took that out, and we had a friend that made this bench seat for us. I got some foam and I've made the seat covers on it. We have 2 storage drawers down here, and also at the bottom you can see the vents for our Truma heating coming out. Everything has been painted in a Rust-Oleum terracotta paint, including the back wall here as well. Now, when we had the seat here, this was the back of the forward facing seat, we actually had a curved area that came out that really narrowed this space down. I think it came out to about here. So we cut all of this down and we've just finished it off with some wooden trim, but that has opened up our kitchen space. As well as our seating, we also swapped out the table that was in the van. It was very big and it was taking up a lot of the floor space as well. So we have gone for a lagoon table mount and a smaller tabletop. This is actually out of the Ikea bargain basement and it's just the front of one of their cupboard units. We bought it for £5 thinking we will change it over, but actually it's doing us quite well and is good on size. The other thing that we've done is, because this van is our home, we like to add in some little personal bits as well. So we have some pictures on the wall, previous journeys, reminders of where we've been. And we also have things like our light. This is a battery operated light off of Amazon, and just it's great just to give a little dim light on an evening. We have overhead storage here, which we've actually got sort of coats shoved in there, and then just again some books and binoculars, so they're helpful. Shoes are always a bit of a nightmare to store, so we've just put a little wicker basket in here where we chuck all our shoes and anything else that seems to be lying around. Just above our sliding door we've got all our controls for the van. So this is our battery, our 12 volt, our water. The middle one is our Truma heater for both our water and our heating. And then this one at the end is our lithium battery, so we can see what charge we've got in there. The van has also come with quite a few USB and 3-pin plug socket. So this is our kitchen area, and we've made quite a few alterations here as well. We did have a gas set up. Our previous van was all electric and we wanted to go back to all electric, so we have taken that out and we've redone the worktop as well. So we got this lovely bit of oak and we used the old worktop as a template. Our friend, who also made our bench, cut it all in and rounded it all for us as well. So we're really pleased with that, and it brings a lot more warmth to the van. We have a bit of an extension on our worktop with this flip top table. Because we don't have the gas anymore, we've got a good workable surface. One of our must-haves for living in the van full time was to have a deeper sink that we could actually wash dishes in. So we've replaced the sink, and we've also added in a small black tap as well. For cooking inside our van, we use induction. Now, boiling a kettle typically takes about 3% of our power. We have this small one here that we use most regularly for our kettles, coffee pots, but we also have a bigger one as well where we can use larger pans on it too. These are all portable, so we just unplug them and we pop them back in the drawer, so we have a clutter-free work surface. We've got really good space in our kitchen. We have 3 sets of drawers down here, wine glasses, obviously under cupboard storage and cleaning equipment, and then we keep all our dishes and our cutlery in these drawers here, and down to our pans at the bottom. This is our coffee area. We really enjoy our coffee, and we use our mocha pot, which is for the induction hob, and up here really the whole cupboard is dedicated to coffee. Over here in our kitchen we have a Thetford fridge which only works on 12 volts, so we don't need any gas for that, and in here we have our larder unit. Everything in this van was very stark and clinical, so we've tried to bring some warmth into it with the wooden worktops and the colours on the wall. We also extended the colour into the kitchen, and we have some tiles that have been put round. Now these are just full tiles, sort of stick-on ones, but we feel that it's made the area a lot more homely. So we have a shower toilet cubicle on board here. It did come with the door on the front, but we took that off because our problem was the door opened outwards into our space, and if you opened this cupboard as well, the door wouldn't open fully. So we've taken it off and we've put on a shower curtain at the moment. It's working quite well for us, but we think what we might do is come to a roller door on it in future. We've made changes to the shower unit. We have painted the walls, and we've also taken out the fixed toilet that was in there and replaced it with our own composting toilet. To save space in the shower cubicle, we have have a push in, pull out wash hand basin. One of the best things as well about the bathroom is we have a very big mirror, which is also a vanity unit. In this van we have an upstairs bedroom as well. It's a very compact, small double bed, but it just gives us some extra space, and of course if we pop the roof we can open all the side panels as well and we get some really good airflow coming through. Another benefit of our pop top is that we can also lift it to angle the solar panels on the roof. So this area under the bed is our dressing room area, and to the left we have a small wardrobe. We have some storage behind the wooden door, and then we've got a little small white door underneath it that actually gives us access into the garage, but we use that with a laundry bag to place all our laundry out of the way. And then underneath the carpet we have lift up storage. It allows us to access the water pipes, but it also gives us some extra storage there as well. Now, because we've made some changes to the bed, and I'll explain about that in a moment, we have a stool that we use to get onto the bed, and that's just slots into our dressing room area as well, so it's kept out of the way during the day. So this is our bedroom area, and it started off as 2 twin beds. But again, for full-time living, we felt that we wanted to have one big comfortable bed. So we did have an infill section up at the top. We've extended that down, and we have ordered some foam to fill in these gaps there. And this has given us a great almost king size bed. I think we're 170 by almost 2 meters. We've got storage on both sides of the bed, and we use these for our clothes. This side is Nigie's, and on this side here is we have windows either side of the bed for good airflow. We've also got 2 windows at the back of the bed by our pillows. One of them doesn't open fully because of our ladder attachment, but it opens enough to give us a good airflow going through. If it's really hot, we also have USB fans that we can place around the van as well. We've been in our van Big Mac now for 8 months, and we've really settled into the space now that we've made these alterations. It was a little bit difficult for us buying a factory built van, because previously we've converted our own vans and really designed the space around us. But with our alterations that we've made, we feel really happy and comfortable in this van.
So having an all-wheel drive van means we can have a bit of off-road fun, and we have been and done that. But it also means we can access places for park-ups that we couldn't ordinarily get to beforehand. Now, the four-wheel drive is nice to have, but more importantly, it's the ground clearance. And now that really has made all the difference. Now, we're currently in southern France. We're in Provence, and we have spent the winter down in Morocco, spent about 4 months there testing out the van properly. Since then, we've driven up through Spain into France now, and over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be heading towards Italy and then on to the Balkans. And if you're interested in that sort of thing, you can follow our daily updates on our socials. I'll pop them on the screen now for you. I'll also pop some links in the description below to some of the items that we've mentioned here if you're interested in any of those. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please consider subscribing to our channel. Please like, share, comment. We love to get your feedback, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves.